Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
I'm a big fan of the former Wallaby turned federal MP David Pocock. He said some interesting things recently in relation to two assaults on women who are out on running tracks in Canberra and the police message that told women to stay vigilant. I saw on David's socials on the weekend, he uploaded this.
This is one for all the blokes out there. I'm interested, when you're running, what are you thinking about? Are you listening out trying to work out what bird's calling, or are you a fellow Queenslander filthy about state of origin? I don't know, are you thinking about the Roman Empire maybe? One of the things I think you're probably not thinking about is getting sexually assaulted. And I think it's such bullshit that we live in a country where so many women are worried about that, are thinking about that when they're out for a run. We've got to do better. Don't know how we solve this, but I know as men, one thing we can do is actually talk to our mates about it.
True. David joins us right now.
Hi, David.
Morning, Jonesy and Amanda.
What was it about this police message that particularly got under your skin?
My wife and I have talked about the difference in our experience over the years, where I'm very happy to duck out at night for a run. Not something most women feel comfortable doing. And then as you said, we've had 2 women in 2 months here in Canberra assaulted whilst out running. And I've got a few women in my office who love running. And we were talking about it in the office, and how do you actually try and get more men into this conversation? It's often talked about as a women's issue, but it can't be left to women to solve. This requires all of us. And, I think when something requires cultural change, that has to start with conversations and drawing more people into it.
And even chatting about it, I see a lady every morning. She goes for a run when I'm leaving for work at 4 a.m, and I always feel, are you all right? I always worry about her safety.
Yeah, I think that's the reality, and I think a lot of blokes just don't. We just haven't had to think like that. We're not thinking about, how do I hold my keys when I'm walking to my car at night? I think if we want to change that, that is going to take both cultural change and then some practical measures. Say here in Canberra, people love running around the lake. It's really poorly lit. That's something that a lot of women have been saying for a while now. Put some decent lighting up so we can actually not run in the dark. So I think we can both work on the cultural change side of things as well as practical measures. And then, law enforcement saying after something like this, well, women just stay vigilant. You can see why they're saying it, but it does come off as not the right message to be sending.
You said men talk to your mates. We all think that men who have friends think that their mates would never be like this, and yet I saw a terrible statistic. This is from the Australian Institute of Family Studies. They estimate that more than 1 in 3 Australian men have used intimate partner violence in their lifetime, and these are the ones who are admitting to it. That's horrifying.
It is. It's a very sobering statistic, and I think that is the reality of this situation when it comes to sexual violence, family and domestic violence, is that we, as a society, we've liked to paint these people as monsters, but these are our mates. These are people that we know who just have a really warped sense of what it is to be a man. I think one of the things our society, and we talk a lot about toxic masculinity, I think one of the things we need to be talking more about is what is positive masculinity? Where are the positive male role models? What does it actually mean to be a man, and to use your strength to actually protect people, not to use it to abuse your partner? Yeah. So, I think we clearly have a long way to go as a society, but I think we all have a role to play.
Well, and we're talking about it, and that's a big part of it as well. And it's pause for thought. And when you post stuff like that, you actually think about it. You go, yeah, right. And someone listening to this might think, hey, you know what? If I see a girl walking down the road in yoga pants, I'm not going to yell at her. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to live my life.
Yeah, and talk to your mates about the same
great point.
David, it's great to talk to you. What's going on in Parliament today? Anything going over the table that you can break for us?
Jonesy, Parliament's not sitting to the end of July. The new Labor government have given themselves a very sweet long holiday before we get back into it. It's a little bit frustrating given the challenges we're facing as a country, but that's the reality.
Yeah, until July, that's like ScoMo times.
I know.
Everyone's
End of
having a
July.
Going
End
on.
of July.
End of July.
Everyone's having a break.
Oh.
We're here. We're working.
David's working this
You're
morning.
working. You're working on your rig.
Wow.
You're out there running.
Well, the work doesn't stop, but Parliament won't sit for a while, but.
David, thank you.
There'll
And
be
I'd
lots
like to
to do
get
when
you
it
back
does.
on to talk about
Yep.
all the stuff you say about our gas reserves and where
Yeah.
we are with that.
Plenty
so that's
to
for
discuss.
another
I'd love to chat
conversation.
more about that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amanda.
Some hot air about that.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dave.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you both.
David
Bye.
Pocock there.